The grail for me for a long time has been, how do you shoot with a faster sync speed and still get strobe? For 800 watts of power in a really efficient design, it's an amazing, amazing kit. So there's all types of reasons we want to get into a faster shutter speed. Overcoming ambient light, you can also shoot shallow depth of field by not limiting you to a 200th of a second, whether you're just going to go to a 500th because you just want to kill a little bit of ambient, or you want to go all the way to an 8,000th of a second because you want to use the shutter to stop action. It opens up a ton of creative possibilities. So that's why you're stuck at a 1/60th, 200th, depending on the camera. It basically limits you as to how you can use strobe. What happens is the curtain opens, travels up, the whole sensor is exposed, the flash goes off, the bottom curtain comes up and it shuts. The minute you go slightly faster than that sync speed, the top curtain starts opening, the bottom starts moving, the strobe goes off, and half of your frame is covered when that strobe hits. The whole idea behind HS is that because that shutter starts moving and then the other part of the curtain starts moving, you have to time that strobe pulse so it begins while the bottom is open and then it's still going as that slit travels. HS mode, just like others, once you click into it, you can turn it on and you can turn it off. This is the brand new RFS 2.2. They come in a C Canon version, an S Sony version, and an N Nikon version. It's a smart device, which is why you have to have one for each of those three brands, because it talks to the camera. There are 3 buttons and a thumb wheel on the back of this. Each of these buttons works in a short press or a long press. HS mode, push it once, and you just basically turn it on and off, and it turns it on and off at the head too. So we hold that long press and it says HSMA. You literally just roll this wheel, and what you're doing is adjusting that traveling slit of the shutter and that strobe pulse. You're aligning them. So the default value out of the factory will work for most of your cameras, but you may find if you're getting a little shading or a black bar, you might need to get in there and tweak a little bit. ST at the top is Studio. If you click it once, you can dial up or down the whole studio's energy. So if you have one Ceros head at 5, one at 6, and one at 8, you can take them all down one stop, and they'll drop 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 5 to 4. If you hold the ST button down, you enter the studio channel mode. You basically can select what studio you want this transmitter to work with. So if we've set up Studio 4 on this one and Studio 6 on the other one, we can choose between those two here. So the last button is the LP button. One tap brings up lamp 1 and lets you adjust the energy there. If you tap a second time or a third time, you can enter the different lamps in the sequence. So if I've got 6 lamps, I can tap and get to lamp 6. And then I can adjust each lamp's power individually. If you hold the LP button for a long press, you can set the maximum number of lamps in your studio. So if you only have 3 heads that are working, you can set it to 3 heads, and then the little display changes to you're now in lamp 1 of 3. So you're just basically saying, I'm not using all these other numbers. Why bother having to have them as options that you might need to scroll through? So we're going to go into the Braun Control app. You turn the Wi-Fi on, it automatically generates a Wi-Fi network. So we get this great interface. We've got the lamps over here. So if we want to turn down the whole studio a stop, we do it from here. If we go into the lamps themselves, you can control the power discretely. So if we want lamp 2 up to 5.5, we do that there. If we hit the more, it gives us access to change the lamp address, which will change the ready light color. We can turn the model light on and off. We can put it in standby mode. So if we want to take a light out of our group, we can put them in eco mode if we're trying to eke out more pops and recycle time isn't the primary factor. And we can also engage our favorite HS mode from here. Very useful. We have a great little CrossFit gym over in Southeast. We've got a couple of MMA fighters that are going to come spar for us. We're going to use the HS mode on the Ceros L to kind of create a day for night scenario. We're going to create a very dramatic and very moody lighting, but we're going to do it with the fluorescence on and the daylight streaming in through the windows. I really want to create this sort of Gritty, intense training shot. I want to feel the intensity of these two fighters. As you can see outside, it's full sun. It's about 2 o'clock, so it's bright. It's very intense outside. We want to completely overpower that. We want to create day for night. We want to create something that's super dramatic. We don't want that back there at all. So we're going to be able to roll up a nice fast shutter speed of like a 2500. All right, move it around, move it around, move it around.
Punching.
So here is our really basic, just kind of quick and dirty lighting. That's, that's kind of what I was expecting, is like a little too bright and punchy there, and then it kind of fades off into nothing. Let's take that light and bring it a little more side. So I want to bring that highlight edge just around a little more. Let's do the same thing with this light. Bring it this way about 3 feet. Let's take that background light. Let's bring it away from the wall a little more, and let's put a 40-degree grid in that. That's a really challenging setup because you either want to kill all the ambient and make it dim, or you have to shoot not against bright, backlit, sunlit location. So we're kind of pushing this a little bit. And now we've added a little bit of haze. We've dialed in our lighting, and the guys are off getting a little bit of sweat applied, and we're gonna go and create some final art now. The Cirrus L and the new RFS 2.2 transmitter, it's so easy to get it working. It lets you get up and running and add this new creative tool to your arsenal.